Hello and welcome to my workshop. On today's episode, I'm going to take a bunch of these scrap waste blocks and turn them on the lathe. Whenever I finish turning an egg, I'm always left with this little scrap waste block on the end, and I never throw any away, so I've got a heap of them. Now I've decided to take a bunch of these pieces and cast them inside my container. But in order to get a good fit, I need to knock off these edges on the disc sander. Now that I have all my pieces shaped, I can go ahead and glue them all to my waste pipe. The glue that I'm using for this project is a 2-part 5-minute epoxy. So now that all the glue's dry, we can put this blank inside our container. Now unfortunately my pipe is a little smaller than I'd like, because when I put it in, it doesn't quite touch the sides. Now it's still going to be okay because it's still a good size, because it is still going to save us on some resin. Now to stop this pipe from moving off centre, I'm just going to hold it down with some packing tape. It's now time to mix up my resin, and for this project I'm using Art Cast Slow Set, and it's mixed at a ratio of 3:1. I'm now going to turn this resin white by adding some white pigment. Now in addition to my white paste, I'm also going to add some white pearl powder. Now that the resin's all poured, I can pop it into the pressure pot to cure overnight. While that one's in the pot curing, I need to mix myself up another blank, but I'll explain a bit more about this one later. Now for this blank, I need to mix up 3 different colours. I need a black, a blue and a purple. Now this pour can also go in a pressure pot to cure overnight. So it's now the next day and it's time to get the blanks out of these pots. The next step is to take this blue blank, split it in half, then I can attach one half to the bottom of this blank, and then we can start turning. If you guys want to see how I flatten this blank, go check out the latest episode of the vlog. It's got all the behind the scenes footage. So now that this blank is split in half, I can now attach it to the bottom of the main blank, just like this. Now just in case any of the glue shows, I'm going to add a little bit of blue pigment. So now that I've got my main shape sorted out, I can start drilling out this hole. So now that I have my hole drilled and I have my final shape, it's time to take the second piece of this blank and shape it up for the bottom. Now that I've finished shaping the two blanks, it's time to start the sanding and polishing process. One question that I always get asked is what kind of paste do I use to polish my resin? Well, it's a homemade paste that I've been perfecting over many years, and it's now available in my Etsy store. Now, if you don't have access to a buffing wheel or you only have a small piece of resin to polish, you can do it by hand by using a microfiber. Now you can already see the difference I've made in just 30 seconds of hand polishing. Now, like I said earlier, if you guys want to try my homemade polishing paste for yourself, I'll leave a link to my Etsy store in the description. Now let's get back to the buff. It's now time for the final step in this project. Now, some of you guys have probably already figured out what it is, but for those who haven't, I've gone ahead and drilled 2 holes in this base. I've created a post that'll sit on top here, and then I have one last thing to do, and that is wire in some LEDs. It was here that I realised that I could just connect the main power wires straight to the last LED. Well, we've come to an end of another episode. Now, if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop a comment down below. And if you like this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Now let's check out my Planet Lighthouse.